handy dandy video while we gather the green peeps out there to come listen to this amazing show this morning. Here we go. Rise and shine.
We changed the paradigm of healthcare.
The green nurse is a holistic cannabis nurse that teaches on the endocannabinoid system and the safe utilization of cannabis and other progressive tools to help people reach a better quality of life.
I'm the founder of Holistic Caring. We're based here in California, and we do educational programs and case management for patients on how to use cannabis therapeutically as a medicine.
We're also here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high, hence the H for hope, I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing.
As the founder of Holistic Caring, I basically oversee the whole ship, and what we're doing is progressive education.
Cannabis actually supports all 11 organ systems, our immune system, and all the neurotransmitter signaling systems that give messages to tell our body to either do something or not do something. Because the plant was prohibited, it prevented health professionals, doctors and nurses from learning about cannabis as medicine.
I want to change the paradigm of healthcare and us paving the way into a new vanguard of medicine. And I'm excited to really bring this into light. There's a company called Canum that we're merging with, and we will now be doing global education.
It's about education, it's about empowerment, it's about teaching people how to feel good, bridging the gap from what they're not getting from traditional medicine, utilizing different plant medicines, adaptogens, tips, tricks, hugs, and nugs of information to support and nourish the most important system in our body.
And it's a lot of soul work, a lot of love, a lot of discipline, and meditation. I'm using my life work as a testimony to others to learn how they can be their own hero and then go help heal the world.
And we are, as nurses, the game changers.
There you go. I don't know about you, but I just like that video a lot. It just brings a lot of warm, fuzzy feelings to me. Growing in health, growing in cannabis, right? It's about growing, continually to move forward, not letting what is going on in your life stopping you from living your best life. And I think my face is frozen. Can you hear me, Kathleen?
Yes, but it does kind of look funny. All of a sudden you're like going really fast and slow. I think I can see you in real time now.
I'm sweating, okay? Mercury retrogrades got me freaking sweating and like praying and going, oh, come on, electronics, we got you, But anyways, let's get back to being frozen. So, welcome to the show, everyone. We are here to bring that hope and inspiration. We want you to start your day off in a way that's just amazing. Life is, it just is. And it's our job to live it and doing the best we can with what we have. And so we're here to bring you those hugs and nugs every morning because we do want you to live a high quality of life. And so I'm so excited to have Cathleen Graham here. Cathleen Graham is a cannabis nurse, green nurse in Michigan. And I'm just going to let her say hello, and then we're going to get started. We're going to do a little grounding this morning. All right, here we go, Kathleen. You're on.
Good morning, everyone. Like Sherri said, I'm a green nurse from Michigan and just here to help, just like Sherri mentioned. And it is honored to be here with all of you guys and help spreading the information about plant medicines.
Yeah. And so tell everyone, what do you do in Michigan? I mean, here I am in Boston, Massachusetts. We got Cathleen, we have Elizabeth and San Diego. We got green nurses everywhere. So what are you doing in Michigan? You're changing lives.
Yes, I am. Mm-hmm. I have spent 13 years in the hospice field, and I am been certified in hospice and palliative care since 2009. So that is my specialty. And when my mother died, I was thrown into health and well-being. And so in that industry, because of what she did, I inherited part of her vitamin downline. And so it brought me a new perspective in how I could help people. If this plant medicine worked to help improve end of life symptoms and improve the quality of life with people that are dying, then surely it could help people that are not dying, even though every one of us are dying.
Wait, Kathleen, we're all in line.
Yes, we're all in line in that dash.
Exactly. We're all in line to enter into another realm. What are we
so
going to do
that's
during
what
that dash? Go ahead.
I did. I started doing consultations for health and wellness and nutrition, lifestyle, bringing in plant medicines, including cannabis and CBD. And just, it's so wonderful to see the improvement in patients. And I will say my biggest success case was a patient I almost didn't take on because she is a 12-year-old pediatric patient with sickle cell anemia. And it was quite frightening. But we were recently in the Detroit Free Press, a full outright spread, an article on her and her family and what CBD has done and THC. We did step her up. She's full-fledged cannabis patient with her card and does take THC products, and they do not alter her ability to function. They improve her ability to function. And her mom just told me a couple days ago that she actually went back to work for the first time in 3 years, that her daughter is stable enough and well enough for her to actually take on a job. And she just wanted to thank me
Oh my
for
God, Kathleen.
the improvement in her daughter and giving her daughter her childhood back. And I
just to think of your education and your empowerment and you helping this family to improve the quality of life of their child. So now that she can engage in the world, it's going to, bring her joy. I think that's just amazing. I look forward to the day, Kathleen, when you and I as nurses can write, well, maybe we'll never be able to write this, but just to think about, how we used to write letters, letters of medical necessity, right?
Yeah.
A letter of medical necessity for patients to use cannabis. That actually, you know what I mean? That actually, the thought came through my mind. There was a couple of patients that were actually writing letters to their insurance company to see if we can get insurance to start paying for their cannabis. Good luck with that, but at least we're trying, right? So it's very similar. Children have endocannabinoid systems too. And when we're working with children, and I'm a pediatric nurse, I used to work at Children's Hospital for years. And basically, you have to meet, it's like risk benefit ratio. You have to look at everything that's going on and what are all of your choices and what is going to be the best. Forget about the law. I mean, seriously, not to forget about the law, but you really need to think about what is in the best and highest interest for this person, for what they need. Because every single thing that we put into our bodies and what we put into our children's bodies either positively or negatively affects the endocannabinoid system. So as adults, as parents, we need to do the due diligence and research every single thing. Is this going to contribute or not? And if not, is there something that can mitigate the side effects of that other choice that you may not want to have to make? So it's really looking at everything. And so I commend you. A lot of people are scared to work with kids and even teenagers in the cannabis space. But it's really, it's just about looking at the research, looking at the science, looking at the risk, looking at the benefits and all of the different things that would be the best choice for that child. And it's the same thing with parents. A lot of parents are, they're scared, because of the whole reefer madness.
They are.
I recently just had a mom I was talking to, and this is the education piece of it here in New England, even in a legal state. The mom didn't know. The mom only thought that CBD came from hemp and not cannabis. So you can see how much more education that we need to do, because and for the new people that are out there, marijuana is the slang name. Cannabis is the scientific name. Hemp is cannabis. It just has 0.3% less, 0.3% less THC. So if it's more than 0.3% THC, it's cannabis. If it's less, then it's hemp. So it's just really, really interesting. The difference between cannabis and hemp is a test. And that's a test that someone made up. Right?
Yes, that's very true. I did want to say, you mentioned the law, and we as medical professionals I think are
Thank you.
obligated. It's to stand up and speak on behalf of our patients, especially that's what led me, the hospice patients not able to go and speak to our elected officials. So I went on their behalf and we changed laws. I want to say this, that as a nurse, you have so much power. Our elected
Mhm.
officials really listen to you. And whenever we go and we bring the awareness of the problem, and then we also deliver a solution based on what our patients need and what we need as medical professionals and able to chart it properly, it makes a world of difference. So use your voice, be an advocate for your patients and yourself even,
Yeah.
and change those laws, make it safe.
And that's the part, that's great too, is we do have the capability of helping as nurses.
Yes.
Nurse is the most trusted profession for 19 years in a row. And the other thing that's on our side, if you want to bring nurses into the arena, is that the National Council State Boards of Nursing put out a call to action that all nurses, advanced practice nurses, and nursing students should have 6 essential areas of clinical knowledge when it comes to cannabis as medicine. So as nurses, we're really promoting that, because we know, and the thing that's different about us too, Kathleen, that a lot of people don't know is that not only are we registered nurses or advanced practice nurses, cannabis clinicians, but we're also cannabis patients. So a lot of us nurses have overcome chronic debilitating illnesses using various aspects of the plant to manage symptoms of chronic illness, which has then led to what? Coming off of some of our pharmaceuticals, improving the quality of our life. And really, that 18 long list of diagnoses that I have and the matching pharmaceuticals, they may still exist in my chart, but I'm not living in that story because I'm utilizing plant medicine and all of the tools that support cannabis that's going to allow me to function in a way that is appropriate so I can show up for life. Really good stuff. Now, what we're going to do, we start off with some hugs and nugs. I'm not going to lie, Mercury retrograde has really been a big pain in my butt. And merging. So, as you all know, we've been merging, and there's been some, we're moving 2 houses. You think about this. We've got holistic caring on the West Coast, and we have the green nurse on the East Coast, and we're taking both those houses and we're moving them together. So website integration and moving houses and domains and servers and emails, and I haven't had email. It's kind of been nice, but it's been a little anxiety producing. I haven't had email in 2 days at least. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to share a little grounding exercise here. And the reason why this is important is because I'm going to bring it. It's going to bring in the plant, right? You think about the plant grows in the ground, right? And we talk about these different things that we can do to bring us back into the center, bring us back into peace, bring us back into, I look at it at bioenergetic homeostasis, right? Nature is perfect. And so a lot of what we can do is if we go out into nature and be with the plants, be with the trees, sit in the grass, walk barefoot on the grass. So I find that this is very, very, very beneficial. And I often like to do this with cannabis, no surprise, because it just intensifies the whole process of me working on spiritual principles, which then filters into my mental, emotional state and then helps to quell that feeling of anxiety. So what I like to do, and I haven't done it yet this morning, but I've done it in my home, grounding my feet, going outside, putting your feet in the earth, and just imagining you have roots in your feet going all the way down to the center of the earth, and just asking for Mother Earth's energy to come support and nourish you, to bring you into the moment, just like the plant, right? The plant grows in the ground. Well, guess what? We need to have our feet in the ground and have to be in this present moment awareness. And then look up to the sun. That's one of the things I'll do too, is I'll look up to the sun and I'll just say, let there be light, let there be light, let there be light. Please fill me with light, right? Please remove all of those things that are preventing me from showing up as my favorite version of myself. And this is really, really helpful. So walking barefoot in the grass, right? One of the things it says here is to feel the earth between your toes. Take a deep breath in and feel yourself aligning with the electromagnetic fields of the earth. So stand outside and I'll go, peace begins with me. Right? And then if you go to a tree, there's that tree hugging. We've talked all about this, being in nature and the terpenes and the smells. So lean your back, go hug a tree, lean back against a tree, close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, feel yourself supported by the trunk of the tree and ground beneath you. So if you're back against a tree, your feet are on the ground, just really doing that deep breathing and that meditation and bringing in gratitude, that we do have these tools. And then here's a cool one too. Stand tall and recite, out in the woods, and I'll be in my yard, hands in the air, rolling around in the grass. And I'll say, I am calm and centered in my body. I feel peace radiate through my body from the base of my spine to the top of my head. I feel my feet grounded deep into the earth and nourished by it. I'm able to let go of all that no longer serves me and welcome in the energy of divine light. There we go. Back to plant medicine, the divine wisdom of the plant. Light helps the plant grow. Guess what? We need to be in the earth. We need to be grounded. We need to be in the light. So that's my little tip, trick, hug, and nug. What do you think about that, Kathleen?
I love them. I think they're all great suggestions to help you with your overall mental health and well-being.
I do too. So we're going to just step into today a little bit because we, it's Women's Health Month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And let me just pull up a little screen here. And we started talking about women's health yesterday, menopause, osteoporosis in regards to how cannabis can help. And then last night we had on Nick Pichette, who shared her story of having breast cancer twice. So she is a veteran in the Marines. She's a 2-time breast cancer survivor. She founded the Cannabis Nurse Navigator, Positively Processing Perception. She's a trauma recovery coach, and she does a lot of amazing things for women, women's health, trauma recovery, and for post-traumatic growth. And her story is very, very powerful. And we talked about that show you can watch from last night is still on there. Okay. So here we go. We're going to talk about holistic caring. And Elizabeth put out this amazing newsletter all about educating on the endocannabinoid system and specifically about women and those women that are approaching menopause and may have different areas and issues that they need to work on. I didn't even know this, but I did a podcast on menopause back in 2018. And I learned that there was 36 symptoms of menopause. I'm like, whoa. And just to think, but do we have to experience them all? That's the next question. Do we have to experience all 36 symptoms? No, we don't. Right? We can, there's things that we can do. And a lot of what we do is going to be supporting and nourishing our endocannabinoid system. So one of the things that Elizabeth talked about yesterday, we also had a workshop, our monthly webinar on headaches and migraines. And that was a really, really powerful presentation webinar. So headaches and migraines are thought to be an endocannabinoid deficiency, right? Dr. Ethan Russo, back in the early, 2000, I think it's as early as 2004, and it's been repeated over and over. He came out with the endocannabinoid deficiency, looking at 3 specific conditions that have very similar comorbidities: fibromyalgia, migraine headaches, and irritable bowel syndrome. And the endocannabinoid deficiency means that we're not producing enough of our own internal endogenous cannabinoids. We have an endocannabinoid system, not because of the plant, but because we make components in our body just like the plant. So the plant makes THC. We make a molecule called anandamide and 2-AG. And the anandamide molecule and the THC molecule are very, very similar. And they plug into those cannabinoid receptors, CB1 and CB2. And then we have the rest of the plant that supports it. The CBD, the other phytobotanical nutrients, cannabinoids, terpenes, essential fatty acids. And so we're looking at this very, very rich plant. And so if we're not making enough of our own internal endogenous cannabinoids to regulate our entire body, what happens? Messages don't get where they need to go. Things get miscommunicated and our body tries to figure it out and it doesn't really do a very good job. So here we go. So back to women's health, headaches and migraines, right? So the endocannabinoid deficiency, the deficient endocannabinoid system can't correct the errors. So if you have an endocannabinoid deficiency and you're triggered into a migraine or a headache, there can be environmental triggers, there can be food triggers, stress. Me, when I don't take care of my endocannabinoid system and eat properly, I can start getting that feeling that a migraine is going to come on. And so supplementing with cannabinoids, routine dosing can help reduce the frequency and severity of headaches. So pain in general can be reduced as an anti-inflammatory with the benefits of CBD, CBG, full cannabis, full extract cannabis oil. We want to provide decreased pain, increased energy and focus for the day. So the goal of cannabinoid therapeutics when managing headaches and migraines is to decrease the intensity and decrease the frequency of when they come.
Yes.
All right. So I don't know about you, but I'm definitely in the midst of menopause, and the moodiness that comes along with it, is very, very interesting as well. But you need to understand hormones. We run on hormones, right?
Yes.
Hormones are essential and very, very important. And so, we have those swings of estrogen and progesterone and prolactin and all of these different things that are going on. It affects our serotonin signaling system, right?
Yes, it does.
And dopamine signaling system, and even opioid signaling system, and our ability to manage pain, right? And so cannabis is really, really good at helping to relieve a lot of those symptoms. Routine dosing of CBD can help activate. So we have these serotonin receptors, the 5-HT1 receptors, to help to produce the serotonin, which helps to naturally calm our nerves and lift our mood, right? What else do we have in these awesome notes here?
For treating menopause and breast cancer, it's even more important to broaden the conversation to include cannabinoids as natural options, because cannabinoids may provide anti-prolific properties and even reduce chemotherapy-induced neuropathies in the hands and feet, helping many to continue to tolerate their treatments. It lessens nausea and vomiting and is done in the same combination. Adding microdoses of THC as needed for pain and sleep.
There you go. Excellent. That's really good too. So, women that are treating both menopause and breast cancer, you definitely need to call us, because there's a lot of things that go in, especially with hormone related breast cancers. There's a lot of, got to be really, really careful. Cannabis is very safe for treating cancer and very safe for mitigating and decreasing side effects of conventional therapy. But, it's important to know how to work it, how to pair it, dosing types of products, and how to integrate it, into your life, to get the results that you're looking for. The interesting thing that I always like to talk about, cancer, and especially breast cancer and estrogen driven, and even cancer in general. And I had Meek on last night, and she was sharing her story. She is a 2-time breast cancer survivor, and she was talking about her first round with breast cancer. She did not use cannabis, right? And then it came back 18 months later. So she had a second diagnosis of breast cancer, and how she used cannabis. Now it's going to be different for everyone. But she used cannabis in conjunction with traditional therapy. And it was really, really important for her to disclose that she didn't use a lot of THC, a high dose of THC. She did microdosing, because there's all of these different protocols that are out there when working with cancer patients in cannabis. And the best one is the one that works for you, right?
Yes.
And it's all right. The best one is the one that works for you. So it's really, really important for you all to get your education on it and how cannabis can work on cancer cells, as well as working in conjunction with conventional therapy and different medications and your goals of therapy. So when we're working with cancer patients, it's basically what's important to you. How do you want to live your life? How do you want cannabis to work right now in your life as you're going through this experience, managing symptoms of cancer and doing the treatments? So when we're working with patients, what do? We look at a detailed assessment. If you go to our website, our intake form is really, really long, but it's important because like I said, every single thing that we do or don't do in our lives affects the endocannabinoid system. Mm-hmm. So we like to look at multiple different things. It's a multimodal treatment plan or a multimodal care plan, right? And we look at the bio, psycho, social, spiritual. Generally in the traditional system, what do? We start with disease processes, body parts, diagnosis, pharmaceuticals. If we're lucky, we get to mental, emotional health. And rarely do we ever get to spiritual health unless someone's dying. And so we're trying to change that, right?
Exactly.
Spirituality is the root of cannabis care. And so that's where we start. We meet patients where they're at and we work with them and hold their hand. You know, this is your life. We're here to guide you and direct you. How fast do you want to get there? Right? How
Yeah.
fast do you want to get there? Yeah.
And to differentiate between spirituality and religion, because it's completely different. And
Yes.
your spirit is like who you are and what guides you to do what you want. It doesn't necessarily mean religion for those people that are not religious.
Exactly. Exactly. So I have another handy dandy little slide here because we are having a special. Where is my fun slide? Let me see here. Share. I have a nice fun little slide that I want to share with you all. If I can find it, and I can't find it. Oh.
You have to have some excitement, you know.
I know, I know. Where'd the slide go? Here we go. Boom. Should come right up. Okay, got it. Okay, here we go. So we are having a sale in honor of Women's Health Month and Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So 25% off all programs at Holistic Caring. So as you know, our website has finally merged, www.thegreennurse.com or holisticcaring.com goes to the same site. And Elizabeth has created a lot of different programs for health professionals, nurses, and people that are in the cannabis industry that want to, you know, receive a certificate, which is Green Nurse approved. So we really went in and did some vetting of her educational materials, and they're really great. Really, really good stuff. And so it's for patients, it's for providers. So if you're a patient, there's also specific programs. There's a cancer program, autism, epilepsy, there's Alzheimer's, there are neurodegenerative disorders, there's chronic pain, there's migraine headaches. We're actually launching a new one in October, the Weed Mom, which is going to be really, really cool. Nicole Simone Brand wrote a book called The Weed Mom, and we're going to have actually a program for women, women's health, and canna wellness for women. So teaching women how to use cannabis in an effective way. So right now, all of the other programs are on sale. You know, we really want you all to join the community. I'll get back to plugging the community because I'm all about plugging the community because it's great. So it's a free community, uncensored. Y'all can join. You can come right in. It's private. So Tasha is our vice president, and she does, you know, she generally does all the vetting of the people that come in. And there's a free patient portal, support group, free monthly webinar. And like I said before, the book club, right? Cannabis for Health, Become a Coach. I don't think you can see Become a Coach, but it's written there, my green screen. And you want to become a coach. You want to become your own coach, right? This is about what improving your quality of life. And there's no one more important than you. And it's our jobs to take care of ourselves. You only have one meat suit. And so we need to take care of it. I know, right? The best way possible. All right. So, Cathleen, what do we got going on this weekend?
Oh, we are going to be in New Mexico for the American Cannabis Nurses Association. I am excited to see all my nurse friends and get to see you. Our poster looks amazing.
I know. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that up really quickly just because, you know what? You work so freaking hard on it. I want to show everyone. So Kathleen and I are going to be presenting. There we go. At the American Cannabis Nurses Association in New Mexico. And this is our poster. Now, Kathleen's been a hospice nurse for a very long time. I did hospice nursing for about 5 years and end-of-life cannabis patients, and looking at 3 case studies, looking at different cannabinoid profiles, chemotypes, and terpenes. And these stories are true stories. They, you know, Kathleen got permission, but it really, really shows and educates how much information is really needed to effectively manage patients that are going through different conditions, even at the end of life, right?
Yes.
Blanket approach, one size fits all doesn't approach. And so looking, and the whole point of this poster is really informational, you know, and just to show the difference of the different types of products that are out there and how they can affect outcomes either positively or negatively. Would you agree, Kathleen?
Completely, 100%. It's that one size does not fit all. It's developing that wellness plan individually for you and finding the right amount that works just for you. Yes.
Exactly. Oh my God, my screen. You guys saw it. So all of a sudden my computer is moving. But yeah, so this is going to be exciting. So tomorrow morning is going to be a little bit different. My flight leaves at 5 a.m. for New Mexico. I'm going to be at the airport. I'm going to probably be at the airport at midnight tonight. Who knows? So I don't know if y'all know, but this will be fun. I'm going to share the adventures of agoraphobia and how you get through anxiety when you're traveling. I haven't been on an airplane in probably over, I don't know, 10 years. And then with the pandemic and having to wear the mask and me having issues with germs. So it's going to be really interesting, and the mask and the people and the energy, but it's going to be an adventure. And I'll tell you what, we're going to have fun doing it. So Green Nurse Denise and I are going to be at Boston Logan Airport tomorrow morning, and we're going to go live at 4:20 a.m.
I'll be sound asleep, girl.
Yeah, you know. So we're going to just go live from the airport and just say hello to everyone and just let y'all know what it's like to have severe anxiety, OCD, PTSD, agoraphobia, and issues with traveling and how I'm getting through it. Because, you know, and I know I'm not the only one. And I'm not going to lie. I'm nervous, and it's okay to be nervous. It's okay. But I'm also excited, right? The excitement too. So you got to understand our bodies process nervous excitement, right? And, anxiety can be positive or negative. So I'm just looking at it as an opportunity to work through a challenge that I have, looking at it in the face and just doing it anyways. And I'll tell you what, cannabis helps. It's going to really be a helpful thing. And if I can't smoke, I'm going to be in the airport going like this. Peace begins with me. Walking down the
you don't have to do that. You can just do that. Yes.
You can just
bring your wellness around.
Bring your wellness around. So and next week too is going to be really different. So because we're going to be in 3 time zones away, because this is, we're in the East Coast right now, we're going to be going live in the morning. So it's a 3-hour time change. So when we're up at 8 a.m., it's going to be 11 a.m. your time, but we have to be at the conference early. So we'll probably be going live around, I'm guessing 6 a.m., which would be 9 a.m. here. So I'll probably go live for a little bit in the morning just to say hello. We're going to be in a house with, I think, over 19 nurses, 19 cannabis nurses, all in one house together. And so it'll be really fun. So if those nurses that want to say hello and introduce themselves and say where they're from and why they're drawn to cannabis nursing, we're going to have them on the show. So make sure you join us next week in the morning as well. And we love you all, and we hope you have a great day. And any words of wisdom for the fans out there?
I love your ending. It's about living your best life, and we'll throw in there until your last breath.
Oh, live your life until your very last breath. We love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow.